Joining us right now, Representative Pete Olson and Representative John Culberson, two of our favorites here on Houston's Morning News. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, John.
Great to be with you.
I love that when they talk to each other. All right, gentlemen, I'm not trying to brag at all or, impress you because I don't need to. You guys are congressmen. I can't impress you. But I was on Fox Business with Lou Dobbs last night, and the subject that we talked about was the president's speech at the United Nations. The president still believes that all he has to do is give a speech and somehow enemies for hundreds and hundreds or thousands of years will somehow join hands, come together, and there will be world peace.
Hey, well, Matt, yesterday I saw a headline that the ocean levels did drop, since he's been president.
Is that right? So, none of this has happened between Israel and Palestine. Palestine may still ask for statehood on Friday. Pete, let me start with you. Do you believe that this president understands the position that he has put America in as it relates to Israel?
Matt, clearly he doesn't understand the position he's put this country in as our relations to Israel. I mean, he needs to realize that what's going on in the UN is happening because of the mixed messages he sent all across the world about our commitment to Israel. I mean, this is his fault. He's emboldened the Palestinians to take this step, and he needs to realize that. And the one thing he said many good things in his speech, but I think he needs to go further. And what he needs to do is to clarify this mixed message he sent is say that the first step in any negotiations is for the Palestinians to renounce their policy that Israel must be destroyed. They must recognize Israel's right to exist as a Jewish nation state with Jerusalem as the capital, period.
Congressman Culberson, let me ask you this. He wants Palestine and Israel to walk in each other's shoes. Did you see the look the Palestinian ambassador gave to that?
Oh, yeah, that's going to happen. And this guy is just a disaster. From the moment he took the presidency, the United States' enemies have been on the march. I have never in my life seen our enemies so emboldened. We have our best friend in the world, the state of Israel. He has helped isolate them, undermine them. It is suicide for Israel to try to return to the 1967 borders, but the president insists that they return to the 1967 borders.
Right.
Israel is the only nation on the face of the earth, Matt, that can say that they were with America 100% of the time for 100% of their existence. And frankly, very quickly, how can you not love Israel as a Texan? Here you've got a group of people devoted to freedom, armed to the teeth, who founded their nation, surrounded by enemies, and who want to drive them into the sea. And finally, they've even got their own Alamo in Masada. I mean, how can you not love Israel as a Texan? And we need to stand by them, as Pete says. This president is really out to lunch.
Congressman Culberson and Congressman Olson joining us here this morning. Gentlemen, hang on. When we come back, I'm going to talk a little bit about the debate tonight and some of the things that you feel we are going to hear.
More Houston Morning News with Matt Patrick now.
KTRH News Time is 8:23. We're joined by Congressman Pete Olson and Congressman John Culberson. Guys, thanks so much for joining us here this morning. All right, so we got the debate tonight, third one in Florida. YouTube videos are going to be asking questions. 19,000 of them submitted, 12 questions picked for the GOP possible nominees. The number one question, economy. Number two question, Mr. Culberson, is immigration. We've been talking about that this morning. What do you think Rick Perry needs to say about the border?
Rick Perry needs to reinforce with Americans what we know works in Texas, that he's done so well. That's enforce the law and to put law enforcement officers on the border who will arrest and prosecute people that enter the country illegally. That's the key. It works in Texas. We know it. It's something the country is ready to hear, and the governor's got a great record on border security.
And Pete, let me ask you this question about business. We're looking at the stock market. It's going to open way down. The Fed meddling once again. The markets didn't like that. What do you feel the GOP nominee, whether it's Perry or Romney, has to say about how we're going to get this country back on track?
The one thing being on the Energy and Commerce Committee that I want every Republican to say is that the way we get this country back on track and create thousands of good-paying jobs in America is to develop the resources God's given us. That means get back to drilling the Gulf of Mexico. That means drilling on the East Coast and West Coast. That means developing all these shale plays across the country, more American oil, more American gas, more American coal, nuclear power, all of the above. By doing that, there's a study done last week was announced that if we get just back to the drilling rate we were doing in the Gulf right the day before the spill, we would create almost 200,000 jobs by 2013.
Wow.
Real good paying jobs. That's my message to the cans. Get America rolling again by developing our energy.
That's why you guys are two of my favorites, Congressman Pete Olson, Congressman John Culberson. Gentlemen, thank you so much. Look forward to having you back.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you, John.
All right.
Thank you.
We've got the debate. They're so polite to each other. I wonder if they were on opposite sides of an issue, if they'd be that polite.